Today we are going to study lecture number 19th, transpiration. What is transpiration? How transpiration is helpful in the plant body? How transpiration takes place? With the help of transpiration, a transpiration pool is created in the plant body and it helps to move water from roots to the upper parts of the plant. So water is essential for the growth of plant, and water is essential to carry all the vital and functional activities in plant body. All metabolic activities need water, and water is absorbed by the roots. Roots, different plants have different types of roots: adventitious root system, tap root system. Some plants have primary roots, secondary roots, and rootlets. So different types of root systems are there in different plants, and roots absorb water and dissolved minerals and substances from soil water. So roots are well developed in crops which are grown on land. Crops which are grown on land have well developed root systems, and these plants are called xerophytes. Xerophytes. Terrestrial plants which are grown on land are called xerophytes, and plants which are grown in water are called hydrophytes. In hydrophytes, roots are not well developed or roots are absent. So hydrophytes are plants which are growing in water. Some plants have taproot system and have one root cap. At the tip of taproot there is one root cap. Some plants are having many root caps, multi-root cap. Some plants are having multi-root caps. So absorption of water is made by roots, and absorption process is more effective and more supported by, and it occurs by the process of osmosis. Absorption and movement of water from roots to the upper parts of the plant is called ascent of sap. So in this processes, osmosis process takes place to carry water from roots to the upper parts of the plant, and to this movement of water, transpiration process is useful. Transpiration process will support the osmosis process. So today's lecture we are going to see how water is lost from the living cells of plant body. Loss of water from living cells of plant body, and mainly transpiration is a process in which water is lost by living cells of plant body. So lecture's name is transpiration. Loss of water from living parts or living tissues or living cells of plant body is made by three different processes. One is transpiration. Transpiration means loss of water from living cells of plant body in the form of vapors through stomata is called as transpiration. Transpiration is of different types. Leaves are having stomata and water is lost through stomata. Then leaves are covered by cuticle and water is lost through cuticle. There are also pores present in the bark of woody stem, and pores are also present in the bark of fruits. So these pores are called as lenticels, and from these lenticels water is lost in the form of vapors. So there is a lenticular transpiration, cuticular transpiration and stomatal transpiration. So transpiration is a process in which water is lost by living cells of plant body in the form of vapors. Then second process is guttation. When there is a winter season, when there is a cold and humid environment, cold and humid climate, and when there are warm soils, then at cool temperatures water transpiration rate becomes low and water is lost from the plant body, from the tips of the leaves, where all veins of the leaves comes together, and there are specialized epidermal cells which are called as hydathode. Through this hydathode, water is lost drop by drop in the form of liquid. So loss of water in the form of liquid from hydathode, which is present at the tip of leaves, is called guttation. The process of loss of water in the form of liquid through hydathode present at the tip of the leaves is called guttation. Then third type of loss of water is bleeding. Water is lost in the form of liquid through the injured parts of the plant, which is called bleeding. So loss of water takes place in three types. Transpiration takes place in the form of vapor. Guttation takes place from hydathode at the tip of leaves in the form of liquid. Then bleeding means loss of water in the form of liquid through injured parts of the plant. Then transpiration is classified in two main types: foliar transpiration and lenticular transpiration. Foliar transpiration and lenticular transpiration. Foliars means leaves and young stem parts. So leaves will have stomata and cuticle. From stomata and cuticle, water is lost in the form of vapors. So stomatal foliar transpiration divides into two parts: stomatal transpiration and cuticle. Stomata are the bean-shaped, kidney-shaped two guard cells which opens and water is lost from the stomata. Then cuticle is a covering of leaves, covering layer of leaves through which water is lost in the form of vapor. So foliar transpiration is divided into stomatal transpiration and cuticle transpiration. Then second one is lenticular transpiration. Lenticular transpiration occurs through the lenticles. Lenticles are the pores which are present in the bark of woody stem of plant and in the bark of fruits. So bark of fruits contains lenticles, contains pores called lenticles. Then woody stem of the plant contains pores which are called as lenticles, through which water is given out in the form of vapors, and it is called as transpiration. So lenticular transpiration. Lenticles are the pores in the bark of woody stem of plant and in the bark of fruits. So transpiration takes place, and about most of the loss of water from plant body takes place by the process of transpiration. Guttation and bleeding, loss of water is minimum. Low quantity of loss of water takes place by guttation and bleeding. Guttation process needs climatic conditions: humid and cool climates, low temperatures, warm soil is needed, and absorption of water must be fast. So in this, available water and absorption of water must be fast. In these conditions, guttation takes place. Guttation takes place in winter seasons when there is a humid and cool climate and cool temperatures, low temperatures. So what is difference between transpiration and evaporation? Evaporation. In evaporation also water is lost in the form of water vapor. But what is difference between transpiration and evaporation? So there are few differences between transpiration and evaporation. Transpiration occurs through living cells of plant. Evaporation occurs through non-living or dead cells of plant. Transpiration needs some vital and physiological phenomena. Evaporation does not have vital and physiological phenomena. Evaporation takes place by physical phenomena, physical, not physiological. Evaporation takes place by physical phenomena. Transpiration takes place by vital and physiological phenomena. Means opening and closing of guard cells in the transpiration is controlled by vital and physiological phenomena. In evaporation, no such phenomena takes place. In transpiration, water lost through living cells. In evaporation, water lost through non-living cells or dead cells. Transpiration is regulated by opening and closing of guard cells, that is stomata. In evaporation, no such regulation takes place. In transpiration, water is lost in the form of vapors through all the pores which are present on the leaves and stem, and it results in softening of surface of leaves and stem. Means it prevents drying of leaf and stem surface. Transpiration prevents dryness of leaf and stem surfaces. Evaporation dries leaf surfaces and all parts of the plant. So in evaporation, dryness takes place and transpiration prevents dryness of the plant parts. So these are the differences between evaporation and transpiration. So transpiration occurs through stomata, through lenticles and through cuticles. So what are stomata? Stomata contains two kidney-shaped or bean-shaped guard cells which come together to form a opening or pore. When guard cells are turgid, they are filled with cell solution. Then stomata pore opens. Stomata opens, and when guard cells are not turgid, when they are flaccid, then stomata gets closed. Outer covering of guard cell is thin and inner surface, inner layer of cell of guard cell is thin layer. So guard cells are kidney shaped, bean shaped. Two guard cells unite to form a stomata. Inner surface is thick of guard cell and outer surface is thin. And guard cells are surrounded by epidermal cells, and about 97% of transpiration takes place through the lower surface of leaves, where stomata are evenly distributed on the lower surface of leaf. Stomata are distributed in lower surface of leaf and upper surface of leaves. In different plants, the distribution of stomata is different. So according to distribution of stomata, these stomata are classified into 5 types. According to distribution of stomata, stomata are classified into 5 types. In some plants, all stomata are present on the lower surface of leaves. All stomata are present or are distributed on the lower surface of leaves, means there is no stomata on the upper surface of leaf. So these type of stomata are called apple or mulberry type of stomata. Apple or mulberry type of stomata. Stomata present only on lower surface of leaves. Then second type is potato type stomata. Potato type stomata means stomata are present. More stomata are present on the lower side of the leaves, and few stomata are present on the upper surface of leaves. So lower surface contains more stomata, upper surface contains less stomata. Such type of stomata is called as potato type. Then third is oat type stomata. In this condition, in some plants, stomata are evenly distributed on lower surface of leaves as well as on the upper surface of leaves. Means same amount of stomata are present on lower surface and upper surface of leaves. So it is called oat type stomata. In some plants, in some aquatic plants, more stomata are present on upper surface of the leaves. All stomata are present on upper surface of the leaves. Such plants are called water lily type. Water lily type. So in water lily type, all stomata are present on the upper surface of leaves. There is no stomata on the lower surface of leaves. So these are the floating aquatic plants. Floating aquatic plants. So aquatic plants which floats on water are of water lily type. Then fifth is potamogetone type. So some plants are potamogetone types. In these plants, stomata are not well developed or they are absent. They are functionless. So these plants are submerged plants, means plant which grows underwater, are called potamogetone types. No stomata are present. Then according to opening and closing opening and closing time of stomata, plants are divided into three types. According to opening and closing duration of stomata, plants are divided into three types. First is alpha alpha type. In alpha alpha type of plant, stomata are open throughout day and night. So example of such plants is pea, bean, radish and mustard. So these are thin leaves. These are plants having thin leaves and stomata are open throughout day and night. Then second type is potato type plants. In these plants, stomata are open throughout day and night except few hours in the evening. In few hours in the evening, stomata are closed. Such type of plants are called potato type. And examples are onion, cabbage, pumpkin. So these are potato types of plant. Then third is barley type of plant. In barley type of plant, stomata are open only for few hours during day. Stomata are open for few hours during day. All 24 hours stomata are closed, but for few hours during the day stomata are open. So examples are cereal crops, means jawar, bajra, wheat, rice. In these cereal crops, barley type of plants, stomata are open for few hours during the daytime. So stomata are distributed in different ways in different crops, and opening time of stomata and closing type of stomata is also different in different crops. So distribution of stomata is different, and opening and closing time of stomata is also different from crop to crop.